A guy says to his barber, can you make one side shorter than the other, take some chunks out of the top, and make a zigzag in the back? The barber says, I can't do that. The guy replies, why not? You did it last time I was here. Stirring the coffee with chopsticks using the vortex method. The K-Bar tactical chopsticks. Had to add that in there. The only true way to optimize the taste of your triple bastard dark roast, link below. At the molecular level. The only way to optimize your the only way to optimize the taste of your coffee, you got to get the 2 taps in there. You throw people off if you do more than 2 taps at the molecular level. Good morning. Welcome to the Daybreak Show. I am the sexy billionaire. We'll get started, but first, Triple Bastard Dark Roast, official coffee sponsor of the Daybreak Show. Nice. Nice. I saw this house for sale. It looks like a former gymnastics center. A converted barn on 5 acres. It's now a 4-bedroom, 3-bath house. I would get this just so I could shoot hoops in my living room and then invite friends over for Friday night volleyball. How cool would that be? Even has a 1-bedroom apartment for guests. That's cool. Looks like the ultimate work from home house. Only $650,000. For some, that sounds like a lot, but if you're in the market for a home or property, that is an absolute steal. Imagine getting up in the morning and just shooting hoops in your living room. Here's a pop quiz for all my copywriting bros out there. There's a Honda ADV 150. It's a automatic scooter. Nice looking. I like it. It's something that I would possibly consider. If they offered a 250, the answer would be an instant yes. The 150, I don't know. I'd have to drive it and see. But I could do some serious moto camping with it. But this is what he says when he's selling it. Hello, everyone. I've decided to sell my 2023 Honda ADV 150. I purchased my ADV in February of 2023, so about a year ago, off the showroom floor. It only has 1,155 miles on it and only used it to get back and forth to work and in town. I've always used Super for gasoline. Okay, so like a higher octane. First service was done at 550 miles. There isn't any mechanical issues whatsoever. The only two things is the signal light broke, but I crazy glued it with Gorilla Glue, and part of the underneath cover broke because I accidentally ran over a cone while riding at night. I'm including the LED lights, phone holder, cup holder, handle guards, side guards, and a 65-liter case, but the helmet is not included. Buying used helmets is kind of gross anyways. I mean, no, thank you. I only have one set of keys to the scooter because I lost the other set. I'm located in blah, 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 Pennsylvania. My price, which is very firm, of $4,000, but I'm willing to sell it without the 65-liter case for $3,700. What you see is what you get. And most important, I have a clean bill, meaning a clean title in hand. He does a great job of unselling this particular motor scooter. What would you do different? What would you include? What would you exclude from that narrative? If you had that and you were selling it, what would you do, or what would you write differently? I have some ideas, and I'd love to share them with you sometime. I've been copywriting for a long time, even before there was copywriting bros. Way before that. I was writing for a cigar catalog that had over 200 cigars in it, and I wrote the descriptions of every cigar. This is back in maybe 2007, 8, 9, somewhere in there. So I know a little bit about copywriting. So perfect, perfect little part-time gig that I had. Perfect.
Perfect.
Hey, listen, what are all the non-woke companies that you can think of? Put your answer down below. I'm going to start compiling a list of non-woke companies. Companies where you don't have to support their political bullshit. Put your answer down below. The official coffee sponsor of the Daybreak Show is Triple Bastard Dark Roast. And guess what? They offer it in a 1 pound bag, not a 12-ounce bag like everyone else. Use the word Sultan as your promo code and save 10%. I made mine today in a French press. A little frothed milk, a teaspoon of local honey, and I am in business, man. This is magnificent. Definitely my favorite coffee of 2023. Here's a question for you guys with a girlfriend. What does she look like without makeup? Fake everything. And how does she respond when you ask for a cup of coffee or tea? I've had some magnificent women in my life when I would say things like, make me a sandwich, when I was like joking around. Remember when that was kind of like a meme? Probably, I don't know, maybe 8 years ago, something like that. Like the whole make me a sandwich kind of thing. Make me a sandwich. And I remember texting that to many women. 10 replied back with some smart-ass answer, including make your own damn sandwich. 2 said this, of course, do you want chips and a pickle with that? Another one was, do you want mayonnaise or mustard? And I'm still friendly acquaintances with those women today. We are back talking about widowers today. Here's some things that widowers have said about some of my work. Thank you for this video. I lost my wife in May of this year. To say that I'm crushed is an understatement. Nevertheless, this video was what I needed to hear, healing and grieving daily, however, gaining bits of clarity as well. She was the absolute best. Thanks again. George, thank you for your talk today. I lost my wife of 45 years. In August of 2019, we were married 2 months before graduating high school. She was a strong woman and supported a career military man. I came home from work to find her face first on the floor. We heal, we grow, we learn to live differently. Though talks like yours are necessary, they can nearly take you back to that day. I enjoyed being married, and maybe I hope to be married again someday. Again, thank you. I'm 46, soon to be 47. I was married once for 5 years and left a widower. Now I've been married again going on 21 years. This time a stroke has intervened. It's slow and terminal. I will be a widower twice before I'm 50. I'm done with relationships after this. I'm trying my best to connect and learn and listen before it's too late. But I go into the shower or closet and cry all the time. It's not the sex. I can live without it forever. Sometimes I crawl into the hospital bed here in my living room just to be with her. I've been widowed for 6 months now, married 38 years. For lack of a better phrase, you are so dead on. You gained my respect. Another fellow says, this guy hit the nail on the head. I lost my wife of 36 years 7 months ago. He knows exactly what I'm going through. Thank you. Working with widowers for decades now because they're overlooked and they're ignored by most of society. Let's get real. It's kind of funny. I was checking out at the coffee shop and put my card in the machine, and an automated voice said, please insert, swipe, or tap. Made me laugh. Kind of reminded me of Tinder. True story from last year. Dude meets a gal online. They meet for coffee. They make out in his car after first base kind of stuff, just kissing and feely up, feeling each other up and that kind of stuff. They plan on getting together again. 2 hours later, there's a knock on his door. It's the police. He's arrested for EPAR. His life is ruined. There's no evidence of DNA. Her boyfriend later that night found out that she went on a date and made her call 911. Gentlemen, it's a different world out there today. I will never forget, I was always the last one to go to bed, check the doors, make sure the stove is off. Everybody sound asleep in the house. I'd be the first one up, just like I am now. I go downstairs to make coffee, and there was a note, a to-do list, on the counter right next to the percolator. She actually got up in the middle of the night to make me a to-do list. Thank God that's over with. I thought this was interesting. 6 coffee tables cut lengthwise, installed and anchored on the wall as an interesting shelf. Looks like a merchandising shelf in a salon or something like that. But I think it would make a cool bookshelf. I mean, if you go to Goodwill or Salvation Army or a thrift store, you could buy a bunch of like just crappy looking tables. You don't have to do anything to them except spray paint them, install them on the wall. How cool of a bookshelf would that be? Almost like something that would just catch your eye. People come over the house and they'd be like, wow, look at that. Yes, it's odd, but so are you, and you're proud of it. Odd fellows unite. Back in 2017, I loved my huge no-trim mustache. So did food and coffee. That's one thing about the big beard and the mustache. I'll tell you what, man, you're like wiping food off of it constantly. You have a fork in one hand and a napkin in the other, or a wet wipe. Eating wings and ribs or any kind of barbecue stuff, forget about it. And there is a possibility that I may grow the big beard back again. I just might go for a yeared again and document the yeared journey. We'll see. I'm not sure yet, but we'll see. Right now, I'm just kind of enjoying my skin fades as it is, where I just bring the skin up, literally just shave up to like the temple area and then just blend it. Well, you really don't see it today because I just rolled out of the sack a little bit. The man who made me rethink and be open to marriage again was Tim Keller and his book, The Meaning of Marriage. I thought it was quite profound. One of his statements hit me a few years ago before I acknowledged that I ever wanted to be married. And I love this statement. He says, real love instinctively desires permanence. At that moment, I realized that I never experienced real love with a woman, not even in my marriage. That's when I said, women don't fall in love with you, they fall in love with the dream of marriage and what you can provide. Women marry a lifestyle, not the man. Most, not all. If she doesn't desire permanence with you, she doesn't love you. So let me ask you this. Unlike the Bryan Adams song, Have You Ever Really Loved a Woman? I will ask you this. Have you ever really been loved? Do you think you've ever been loved? If it's true that real love instinctively desires permanence, have you ever truly, really, genuinely been loved? My, oh my, you sure know how to arrange things. You set it up so well, so carefully. Ain't it funny how your new life didn't change things? You're still the same old girl you used to be. Lion Eyes by the Eagles, 1975. Here's something that I was thinking about yesterday. You know, there's a lot of talk in the men's community about dread. Just making her feel just a little bit like you're going to walk out, like having one foot out the door at all times, keeping her in line. I get that. I understand that. Like, we don't want to lose people. And that goes in both directions. But here's a dread alternative. And I'm not putting down dread. I don't like the word dread. The whole concept of dread game, I don't know. Just doesn't work for me. But here's a dread alternative. Having a sense of gratitude that you encountered each other and can work together, compensating for each other's blind spots. Gravitate to where your natural gifts lie, but also stretching a little out of your comfort zone. Do you feel fortunate that you have found each other? Do you have a sense of gratitude? Wow, I'm really happy and thankful that I found this person. Remember, I said, women want to be loved, men want to be respected and appreciated. How about this? Have you ever had a woman say, I'm thankful for you? Forget love. Is she thankful for you? Does she have gratitude for you? Here's the 5 worst foods for men that lower your testosterone. Anything with soy. It's highly estrogenic. Number 2, milk. If you know where milk comes from, well, it comes from cows. Of course. But those cows are pumped with hormones to make them produce the milk. Think about this. So you are getting estrogenic compounds in the milk. Holy cow. That makes you see things a little bit differently, doesn't it? Number 3, trans fats. Usually when restaurants fry foods, they deep fry foods, it's done with a trans fat oil. There will be no trans fats. Number 4, processed sugar products such as soda or fruit drinks, which just your testosterone, you can just hear it just going down while you're drinking a soda. And 5, hate to say this, alcohol also lowers your testosterone. I'm only thinking this way because in the past year, I kind of felt like something has dropped in my life. And of course, I'm trying a new testosterone boosting regimen here with magnesium glycinate, taking that every day. And then also a boron compound, taking that every day, along with zinc, C, and D. I'll put links for that down below. But I will be, and this is from research, a lot of research on the web. Man, I was pointing and clicking for hours about this. And I will be, here we are, kind of close to the end of January. In another 2 months, I'm going to be going to get my lab work done. And I just had it done 2 months ago. What's going to happen is I'm going to compare my numbers, because I will have been on the boron and magnesium regimen for 2 months by the time I get the new lab work done. And I'm going to compare my numbers. And I will call bullshit on anyone that says you need TRT. If this doesn't work, I may consider it. But let's try natural means first. I am absolutely convinced that nothing gets rid of wrinkles except cosmetic surgery. As I have become more wrinkled in my lifetime and my wrinkles get deeper and deeper, all the damn moisturizer in the world only softens the skin. It doesn't get rid of wrinkles. It maybe plumps up some of the fine lines, but it doesn't get rid of wrinkles. So when you put on moisturizer, the only thing you're getting is the softest wrinkled face. Do not worry. Please don't worry about that. Every man will end up looking like one of the Muppet old men in the balcony, and every woman will end up looking like Jigsaw eventually. Your beauty and handsomeness is fleeing. Stop trying to chase it. You know what's really tiring is dating a woman who's constantly chasing beauty and dieting, and you're saying, in your mind, honey, you're beautiful just the way you are. She doesn't want to hear that. That's the last thing women want to hear. Financially, you want to make those millions for you, not us. How many times have you tried to do things for a wife or a girlfriend? Like you literally wake up in the morning and you want to build a better life and you know it's not, well, life teaches you that it's not appreciated at all. There's no gratitude from your partner, your wife, your girlfriend. Most men learn this the hard way. There will be no doing it for us. Do it for you. And you'll be fine. Because if you do it for us and she splits, and 60% of them do split, then there goes your dreams. And there goes the us part. Do it for you. Evangelical modern pastors, most, not all, are like used car salesmen trying to sell you a high mileage car, but saying it runs well. It looks good. And mileage is not really a problem. It's nothing to worry about. Note, this is not really about cars. Every guy who's ever been told that he can best find a wife at church knows exactly what I'm talking about when people say, well, where can you find that woman? Some people say, go to church. Let me tell you about what church is. Church is the returns department of society. It's where the high mileage cars go to die. Again, your weekly reminder to not to associate with idiots or fools or people that associate with idiots or fools. So ladies that are watching, how do you know if he's the one? Here's a few things. He's concerned about your safety. Truly is concerned about your safety. Locks doors, secures windows, reminds you to be safe, reminds you to be alert. He's concerned about your health. If you're eating shit all the time and he wants to start cooking for you, or is urging, he's not nagging you, but he's urging you to eat a little more healthy. Maybe go keto or carnivore. Number 3, he's concerned about your comfort. If you're dressed warm enough, put that scarf around your neck. I don't want you to get cold. Put a hat on. He's concerned if you had enough to eat and if you're eating healthy. Kind of like how he cares for a daughter. That's how you know he's the right one. How many women have thrown men away like a piece of garbage who cared for them in order to go on a girl vacation, to get laid? Momentarily, they gave up a guy who will sacrifice them, give them a life. It's happened to most of you guys. You know that. And that's why you watch me, because I help mitigate some of that bullshit that you've been through. Don't stop caring. But the first one you got to care for is yourself. Thank me later. Anybody thinking of going to Orthodox Montanica on June 27th through the 30th at Holy Trinity Serbian Orthodox Church in Butte, Montana? There's a possibility I might go to that. It's very exciting to see Rich Cooper's 1% Forum happening this weekend up in Toronto. Very solid. Looking forward to hearing the great reviews. If anyone can do an elite gathering, it's $3,000 for the weekend. If anyone can do an elite gathering, it's going to be Rich. So the 1% Forum has my full support, and I wish them the best. Everyone be safe. If you're watching me and going to Rich's this weekend up in Toronto, let me know how it was. I'm more than happy to stand behind that. So congratulations to Rich and the 1%ers. In 2024, I'm urging people to stop using the word manosphere. Stop saying I love her or him like a sister or like a brother. Or stop saying my good friend. Friendly acquaintance is more accurate. Or stop saying the word mid. You ever see these guys like online talking about a woman who's mid? Dude, have you looked in the mirror lately at yourself? There's a cop killed in the line of duty. The dude was a military hero. Then I saw a picture of her graveside at the funeral with his fellow cop, his partner. Not long after, a baby is born and those two are married. And this scenario happens more than you think. So the question is, who will accompany your wife or girlfriend to your funeral? Your first hunch is probably going to be correct. There is proof that all women have a plan B. 80% of women know exactly who they are going to make themselves available to or are already available to if it doesn't work out with you or when she leaves you. 80%. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. And 3 of my favorite things to say at least once a month are, stop trying to get her back and get you back. Do you really want the woman back who ingested another man's seed, took it in the back door, and bit his pillow? And by the way, she described you to him as a guy she used to know. And number 2, save the man, not the marriage. When the man is saved, the marriage does stand a chance. And if the marriage doesn't make it, guess what is still standing? The man. And number 3, smoking faithful is always better than smoking hot. Why are we always looking for hot? Hot and faithful usually don't go together in the same sentence. Look for smoking faithful, drop dead faithful. And if she's not that 8, 9, or 10, or whatever the hell number rating you're giving women, guess what? That faithfulness will make her more beautiful. And with that, finish your coffee, and I'll see you on the next Daybreak Show, your home of sanity, clarity, reason, and no begging. You want to be the guy that always gets noticed? Bullet cologne isn't just a fragrance. It's a confidence booster that's packed with pheromones. Imagine walking into a room and instantly becoming the center of attention because of the science of attraction. That's the power of pheromones. Grab a bottle of Bullet today and transform your social life.